Hello and welcome to another episode of On a Lookout. In this week's episode, we're going to be looking at data from marketmoversapp.com, looking at NFL quarterbacks that you could potentially buy raw, get them graded. We're going to be looking at Gemrate to see what the rate of that card is to come back as a gem or even a PSA 9, and then we'll see what the profit margin would be. So, without further ado, let's look at these NFL quarterbacks and look into the data. So, the first quarterback we're going to be looking at is Josh Allen. I picked his Optic rookie raw. It's also in a PSA 9 and a PSA 10, and then we'll be looking at the Prism 2018 rookie base, PSA 9 and PSA 10. So as you can see with the chart currently there for the last 365 days, lots of sales, a lot of up and downs for Josh Allen, which is interesting. Obviously you can see there the PSA 10 of the Optic base is 2,272, so a decent amount. For the PSA 9 is 1,728. And if you look at the PSA 10 in the Prism rookie base, there is a pop of 2,166, so just slightly less in the Prism compared to the Optic. And then with the PSA 9, there is 3,699, so a lot more in the PSA 9s, which is not a good sign for Gemrate, but we'll look into that into not too distant future. See what it is saying. So let's go into last 60 days. As you can see, so that's like when the season's going to be kicking off. You can see sales a bit more on the upward trajectory, apart from the Prism base, which is actually down 9%. Everything else is up, a high of 59%, which is interesting to look at. So you can see his performances have definitely dictated his market value for the last couple of months. Again, he's probably one of the front runners for MVP, having beaten Mahomes. The only person to beat the Chiefs, obviously beat the 49ers just this past weekend. So he's the two people in the Super Bowl last year. The Bills and Josh Allen have beaten them. Let's go over to number of sales as well. I'll have a look, see what card out of all those is selling for the most, which one's more liquid in the hobby, should we say. And there we have it. So the PSA 9 Prism is the most liquid, and then the raw second up. So that's the one that people are preferring. It's interesting. So we head over to Gemrate, and this is for the Optic 2018 rookie, so number 154. As you can see there, the Gemrate across all graders is 50%, at PSA is 52.5%. So yeah, roughly if you're buying two, one of them should gem, the other should come back a PSA 9. And then we go over to the Prism, the 2018 Prism Josh Allen rookie to number 205. It's one a lot lower, 30.7% across all graders, and at PSA is 33.7%. So you're looking like 1 in 4 area to be, a PSA 10, more likely a PSA 9. Gemrate and the chances of getting a PSA 10 in these cards, we can see that if we do buy the PSA raw, if we do buy the base raw of the Optic, which is obviously around about $110, if it comes back a 9 with grading freeze, you're probably going to be breaking even, so not the best. But if you do get a PSA 10, which was 1 in 2, you are near enough trebling your money at $295. As you can see, they were all sold pretty much yesterday or the day before, so a very liquid card. With the base, obviously not as good on the Gemrate, so if you buy raw 58, it's possibly going to be more likely going to be a PSA 9. There's still profits made in that with $58.50 the buy-in as of yesterday, and the sale of PSA 9 yesterday was $95. So with grading fees, you should still make around about $20, maybe a bit less. But if you do get the PSA 10, a nice turnaround of $250, so a bigger profit margin, but bigger risk. Like we said, you have to buy maybe 4 of those. So, worth the risk in the long run, because buying 4 is going to cost you what, $240, and have another 40 in well, probably have to pay a bit more than that. So maybe another 60 in grading. Again, and if you get the one PSA 10, that's pretty much covered you there, and the profit you make from your PSA 9s would be nice for your back pocket. And again, similar with the optic, you know, if you can do that with the optic, getting the 10 definitely helps and definitely makes you some money. Now the next quarterback is Jalen Hurts. If you look here, last 365 days, there's a lot of red, down quite a bit. Some of his cards down 53% on the year, 56%. So yeah, again we've gone for the optic, again base in raw PSA 9 and PSA 10, and also the prism base in raw PSA 9 and PSA 10. But yeah, obviously didn't have the year that everyone expected last year. Obviously coming back off the Super Bowl defeat to the Chiefs, they faltered last year, got knocked out. I think it was the first round of the playoffs, so wasn't the best scenario. Didn't have the best start to the season either. But lately they've been on a bit of a tear up. I think they're maybe 8-1 in last 9 games, something crazy like that. So you know, Eagles may be back. If you look at it, you know, last sort of 2 months, you know, with the season really sort of starting and kicking on, you know, the majority of his cards are up, barring one, which is obviously a sign of their performance again. So another performance spikes in his cards. So look, you know, looking at the PSA, well, the raw, sorry, of the Prism is the highest selling card with 98 sales. So that's the one that's people are after really. So with the 2020 Panini Prism of Jalen Hurts, number 343, as you can see, 33% across all graders and 33.8% across PSA. So not a very good chance there of getting a 10 more than that. And then we go over to the optic, number 164, Jalen Hurts. A little bit better with a Gemrate across all graders, 51%. At PSA, it's 54.6%. So more than likely 1 in 2 should be a PSA 10. So that could be interesting to look into for profit. So as we saw there with Gemrate, the Prism wasn't the best for gemming. So you know, on the plus side, looking at the raw is $9.50. You know, PSA 10 is $44. PSA 9 is $24. So you're going to be lucky to break even because you're also going to be getting a lot of 9s and a 10. Again, an extra $15 at best. With the optic though, at $7.25 as of the other day, a 9 does $20. So you know, again, maybe make $5 if you're lucky, and the 10 is going for $30. So you might make $15. So you know, after all, with grading fees, etc. So probably not the best player to be investing, even though he has had a bit of an upward tick in the last 2 months. Doesn't seem to be much demand for Jalen Hurts. And next up, it's Lamar Jackson. Again, we've got the optic base raw PSA 9 and PSA 10 data, and we also have the Prism base raw PSA 10 and PSA 9. Don't know why I did that around, but I did. Very interesting to see. You know, he's he's now 2-time MVP, current MVP, one of the front runners again for MVP. He's up on the year, which is surprising in some respects. You know, seen as they fell short to the Chiefs in the playoffs last year. Obviously got beat, was it first game of this new season to the Chiefs, but people still believe in Lamar. He's a dual threat. Obviously Derrick Henry there has helped. And yeah, last 60 days, I mean, look at that. Nice. Every card green. The only one out of the three we've seen, only one that's got all the cards on a green. So you know, there's a lot of people, maybe there's a lot of Ravens fans, a lot of people investing in Lamar, a lot of people collecting Lamar maybe. I think the important part is going to be seeing what cards, not total sales, we need to look at number of sales. There we go. So it's again the Prism Raw doing 123 sales last 60 days, followed by the 9. So they're the 2 big ones. Again, the Prism over Optic. So let's look at Gemrate and see what chance does make some money in this. So with the 2018 Panini Donruss Optic Lamar Jackson rated rookie number 167, PSA Gemrate is 59%. It's 57.8% across all graders. But again, we came up more about PSA for PSA for actual profit in this. So not bad. Again, buying 2 should at least be getting one of them as a PSA 10. So interesting one to look at for potential profit. And now we're looking at the 2018 Panini Prism of Lamar Jackson, his rookie number 212. I mean, look at that, 12.5% across all graders. In PSA, 12.1%. Just 757 for a Gen 10, 4,040 are a PSA 9. So you have to be buying at least 10 and hope one of them comes back a PSA 10. Now let's see if there's still money to be made with these cards. So as we saw there with Gemrate, some very wide margins, right? 50% for the optic and 12% for the prism. So as you can see, if we're buying 10 of the base prism raw, it's going to cost us around about $360. Then you get grading fees on top, so you're looking at around about what, $500 thereabouts, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. But at one PSA 10 gets you near enough $300 at $291, and that's on the 3rd of December. And then your 9s will get you around about $60, so you have 9 9s, which is $540. So money to be made. It's a bit of a slug to make around $300, but it's it has to be done to make the money, right? Make the profits. With the optic, obviously a better chance of getting a PSA 10 there. So you buy 2 of them, it's going to cost you $100, get them graded, and again, so he's looking maybe in for $120. You get one PSA 10, that's $200 as of the 4th of December, and the 9 goes for $67. So you sort of losing money on your 9, but the profit you make on the 10 definitely helps suck that up. So interesting look at the market this week. I hope you enjoyed this little NFL special. I'll maybe do more of these sort of stuff, pick out particular players and go through stuff in the future. See you guys next week.